So what are you grateful for today, everybody? Hey, Minta.
I got my postcards.
Woohoo! Let's see them. Check those out a little bit closer. From the rest. One. Oh my God, I love that. Stand out from the rest. That is beautiful.
But I've been sending these out for like a year, and it has the reticular activator, what it is.
Oh, the reticular activating system. Right on.
Yeah.
That's an important thing. We've covered it a couple of times. Hey, Heath, how's it going, brother? Right on, right on, right on. Joanna's in the house. So who remembers what the reticular activating system is? Wave at me if you remember the RAS, reticular activating system. All right, right on, right on. Joanna, do you remember what the RAS is, babe? Nope. So we're gonna have someone tell us, but not, let's see. Hey, RJ. Sue is in the house.
My audio, if you guys all want to turn yours.
All right. Right on, right on. So
Hey.
Chad, I thought are you guys all at a coffee house, Chad?
Yeah, we had a team. We had a team meeting this morning, and so we're like, let's all do the call together.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we got 2 minutes till takeoff time. So let's chat about the RAS because it's so important for you just logging into audio. Angela, show them your card again. She got her postcards. Says stand out from the rest, right? One Sterling, Angela Peters. Turn it around. It talks about the RAS, the reticular activating system. And I love that she's educating the general public about it. So the reticular activating system, do you remember the video we said to watch and count the number of passes? Tell me, wave at me if you don't remember it. Where the video you watched where we said count the number of passes. Wave at me if you don't remember seeing that. Joanna, did you see it? Okay, all right. So it's in the homework. So someone tell us about who remembers the video where it said count the number of passes. What happened when you watched it for the very first time? Go ahead, Sue, give it to us, girl.
Well, number one, you missed the gorilla, and number two, you missed the background changing colors. And then there's I think it's a girl or a guy in a black shirt that disappears.
Yeah, and Sue,
Because
tell
you're
us why you
concentrating.
missed that stuff. Why does the brain skip right over it?
Because we're concentrating on what the task was, and the task was to
Yes.
count how many times the ball was passed.
100%, girl, 100%. And so what it is, your unconscious mind or your conscious mind is the goal setter. So your conscious mind told you, go count these passes, right? And then your unconscious, oh my God, Megan and Casey are in the house together. I love that. Your subconscious mind is the goal getter. It's going to go after and find opportunities that the conscious mind wants it to go after, right? So you told your brain, count the number of passes. What did it do? It counted the number of passes. That's what you programmed your reticular activating system to go after and look for, right? So you missed the gorilla coming into the middle of the video. You missed the curtain change color, the shirt change color, all that stuff. So why is that important to know what your reticular activating system does for the brain, and how does it apply to you reaching your minimum of 90K? Minimum, friends, 90K in 90 days, minimum.
Because you're so focused on one thing, you're not seeing whatever else is going on around you.
Yeah, you can miss the bright, shiny things, thank God. They're going to distract you away from what you want. And we also have talked about affirmations. That's one of your daily habits that you can do in your morning program. What will affirmations do with the RAS? Someone who's not spoken to me yet. Minta, give it to me, sister. She's like, dang it, don't pick on me. Let's think about it.
Busted out laughing too. So
let me ask you some questions to get to the answer. So an example of an affirmation, right? I am strong and powerful, and I can get a minimum of 90K in 90 days easily and effortlessly. If you're telling yourself that every day, several times a day,
it becomes what you focus on.
Yep. Your brain will find those opportunities. If on the flip side, if we're negative Nancy And we're like, that's never, well, that's not true exactly, because Bree didn't believe in the program, right? You remember her confession to me? But we reprogrammed her brain and she went after and got $310,000 in her pipeline in 90 days, right? So she started to shift. When she started, she wasn't a believer. Then she started believing, she did her affirmations, her morning program, started focusing on her systems that we're teaching. Right on. We're 2 minutes after, so let's get on target. All right,
Hey,
so
Monica,
Yeah.
could you please repeat that affirmation you just said? I really liked it about the
oh,
90 days.
honey,
So
when it
did I.
rolls off the tongue, it never comes back the same way, babe, but let's give it a whirl.
Okay.
It
So
was-
I wrote down part of it, Monica. Do you want it?
Yes, yeah.
You said, I'm amazing and powerful and I earn 90K every 90 days easily and efficiently. That's not
Easily
quite
and
right, but it's
effortlessly.
similar.
Easily and effortlessly. That was exactly it.
Effortlessly.
Easily and
Thank
effortlessly.
you.
Right. And let's really, I'm going to digress for just a moment. Affirmations are several different ways to do it in case you skipped over it. And they're really, really important. Number one, you can be on an app. There's I am affirmations that you guys can check out. And there's an app for that. You can say them out loud. One of the ways that's taught by some of the systems out there is to say them out loud 10 times like a crazy person. What does it do when you are walking around your room like a crazy person, arms waving in the air? I'm amazing and powerful, and I earn 90K every 90 days easily and effortlessly. And you repeat it 10 times, finish it off with a growl, like an animal going after its prey. What does that do? What does that fuel into that information?
I think it messes up the energy.
Yeah,
It shakes things up.
yes.
It doesn't just stir them, it shakes things up and
Shakes them up.
things happen.
Right? And then so if someone says, yeah, I love you, or if they say, man, I really love you, you can hear the difference in the energy, right? Yeah, I love you. Right? Energy will feed into it, into anything you put yourself into. All right. So we digress a little bit. So the last thing on affirmations, or you can write them out 25 times is another way, or there's a 3-6-9 method. Say it 3 times in the morning, set an alarm for the afternoon, say it 6 times, and then 9 times before bed. Because remember, before bed, what will happen? What you focus on expands, what you think about, you bring about. And before bed, what's going to happen for the next 8 hours?
Percolate.
Yeah, percolate, marinate like a really good steak. All right. So if you're watching bang 'em up, shoot 'em up movies or talking about the negative things of the day, don't do that shit, friends. Do not do that. Talk about, even if it went a terrible day that you think overall. Remember the day my dad died? What did I say happened? I was grateful for the things that went well. Okay. 3 C's. How do we start off every meeting? There's 3 C's, popcorn style.
Bunker.
Yep. Which is clear, right?
Yes.
Clear the chaos. So, and we're going to do that. And then I'm going to ask you how that relates to your everyday. All right. So create the bunker. Everyone do that right now. Juliet, can you share the screen and show them what the bunker is? And while she's pulling that up, so can you watch TV and really take in the program and write out a document at the same time?
No.
Why is that?
Because even though you think you can multitask, you really cannot. Your mind will not be concentrating on what you should be learning.
Amen. Amen, sister. And it's a way to screw up several things at one time. And especially your relationships. Has anyone here ever been talking to someone, a spouse, a significant other, a friend, and they're doing this, looking at their phone? And then when you're done talking, they go, what?
I hate that.
Right? They're not present. Right? So if you are in a seminar or in a class and you're looking at your phone, what is that going to do?
You're not paying attention.
Yeah, you're going to miss stuff. Some really good nuggets. So let's all create our bunkers. And when I say bunkers, when we get to the phone, and let me ask you a question first. Is anybody in here, stop sharing for 1 second, Juliet. Is anybody in the class right now in the middle of an emergency? Meaning you're going to have a deal fall through in the next 1.5 hours, or you've got a sick person in the family, in the hospital. No one? All right, so phone's off. Turn the ringer off and stick it upside down in the drawer.
If you hear a
Keith
lot,
is like, man, she is lowering the hammer. I saw that eye roll, buddy.
if you hear a lot of noise coming from me, it's because I have a huge thunderstorm going on.
That's okay, babe.
But I
Juliet,
can't,
I have
I
a
can't keep it
son-
out of my bunker.
That at any moment could break a limb anywhere or be in the emergency room at any time.
Who
And
is
that's just
that?
How he lives his life.
So true. All right, Juliet, share the screen again. So all the tabs on the computer shut down, except for this one. All right, you can have your roadmap up. Has everyone put a note on the door or let everyone know in the office not to come in and disturb? Charles? Is that note out there? Right on.
Oh, I'm in my home office and so there's nobody in the house, but I just
No one's in the house. All right.
unplugged my office phone. So
Perfect. So everybody knows you're not available, phone on disturb, and then the auto message. All right, stop sharing that, Juliet. All right, so let's clear the calculator. So the 3 C's, cameras on, everybody's here. I can see all your bright, shining faces. Number 2, create the bunker, right? All distractions gone. Number 3, clear the calculator, which means we've got to clear the 6 digits between the heads. So let's all close our eyes for just 1 minute. We're going to inhale all that is good. Hold that breath at the top. Exhale, breathe, and relax. Really slowing down into the rhythm of life. As you inhale, focus on that breath, hold it at the top. And this time as you exhale, all the stressors of the day, all the hustle and bustle, everything on the outside, becoming more and more present with each breath. One last deep breath. See that white light coming up from the soles of your feet, moving through your legs and your torso and your chest, out the top of your head, clearing and cleansing. Hold it. And a deep breath, exhale everything that doesn't serve you. Open your eyes in 3, 2, 1. Good job, you guys. All right, let's get this party started. Okay, so those are the 3 C's, right? We open the door 5 minutes before every week. We're going to create our bunker, clear the mind, and cameras on. We are there, friends. So let me go. Let's go into some accountability. Juliet, can you copy lines 12 C, everyone, what they said they were going to be committed to over this past week? Each of you put down one thing. Gina, time block every day. How did you do, Gina? Did you time block every day? Scale of 1 to 10. 10 means you absolutely crushed it. 1 means you forgot that you committed to it and you didn't do it. Gina's not here. All right. Juliet's going to put those all in the chat. And let me find one other person to pick on. I'm going to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo. There we go. Sue, you were committing to follow the calendar. How did that go?
I always follow my calendar.
Okay. So how was that commitment last week? Is there a way to up level what you're doing?
Well, I'm trying to squeeze more into my calendar than I did before.
All right. Very good.
But
Alec,
I've been a calendar follower for, I would say, several years. And I know we discussed this in last week's meeting, but it is so crucial to my business and my life to know what I'm doing, because I totally forgot I'm having dinner with a client tonight. But I looked at my calendar first thing this morning. I went, oh yeah, that's
Okay.
right. I'm having dinner with him tonight.
right on. And then Chad and RJ, we're going to separate you two boys if you don't behave. Okay, no more team meetings before this. You guys look like the Brady Bunch. There you go. I love that.
Oh, so they're in the same
We're
office.
just talking about each other's commitments and, you know.
Yeah,
what
RJ,
for
what was your
everybody.
commitment? So everybody else, look at the commitment Juliet put in the chat that you said you're due and put down your number on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 was crushing your commitment. 1 was you forgot about it. And then something in between. RJ, what was your commitment, brother?
Committed to following the calendar. I don't see Chad's on here. Is there Chad? Is yours on here?
She must not have copied mine, or I don't know.
Oh, you put it all in the chat. So that meant Chad didn't put his in the chat. We're gonna have to reprimand him. So RJ, you get to dish out the punishment. So RJ, how did your commitment go?
Not well, not well.
Okay, so your commitment, let's say it out loud. What was yours?
Following the calendar.
Okay, so let me start at the beginning. Can you screen share and show me your calendar?
No. I mean, I
Chad,
have,
is he lying?
no, I really,
He's pulling it up right now. Let's see.
I mean, I can show you, ours is a little different.
I just want, well, I want to see like each day what's on there.
Okay, what day would you like to see?
Today.
Today, I just showed today. Well, don't worry about the air filter on my car, on my house, I need to replace that. But
Yeah, it's too hard to see that way, brother. So
okay.
let me ask a different way. So do you have each day planned, RJ? Do you have a plan for each day
Yes,
on your
ma'am.
calendar?
Yes, ma'am.
And so did you stray from it every day, just one day? How well did you follow it?
Well, I was sick a day, that was one, and.
That doesn't count.
Okay, that doesn't count. And then I just had a lot of showings. So no.
Okay, let me ask you this. And as always, Chad is your leader, will supersede anything I say. The method I like to follow for people, and you can switch it up, is showings always in the afternoon. Or if you've got showings in the afternoon or in the morning, you replace and do not erase your R&B time.
This is
So
something
Annette-
RJ is very aware of this. We've been working on this for a long time. He's a people pleaser. You know, he has a hard time setting boundaries and saying no when people are like, hey, can we
All
go
right.
look at these homes, and he
Hope
will
someone
drop
wrote
his.
Yesterday. Hope someone yesterday.
Okay, we got a
That's
breakthrough.
That's a win. Hope
Right
someone-
on, that is a win. So that's a very common thing, RJ. I've heard it in 16 years, thousands of times. We're afraid we're going to lose business. So two things I want to throw at you guys. And for some of you who've been coaching with me in various programs, you've probably heard it before. How do we set those boundaries? And what other types of professionals do we act like in setting boundaries? So Ryan, you're shaking your head. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I know, you're supposed to be like a physician. I've been well trained.
So what gets in the way then?
What gets in the way? I mean, me, probably.
Okay.
In this, I don't say if I can make excuses. No, there's a no excuse zone as I look at Chad.
Yeah.
Yes, it was pushing. There were some circumstances though. It was a very difficult, they have a very small window to find a house. So it's kind of been a fire, you know, I've been a firefighter as opposed to a physician.
Okay. And so Chad, do you know all the circumstances, Chad?
Not on this particular one, so
Well,
no.
look at it a different way, RJ. What would have been the workaround to stay? Because here's the real question. That was question stacking. Sorry about that. Here's the real question. What caused you, and you guys listen to this question. I want you all to answer it in your head. What caused you to choose to not do the things that are going to get you what you want? Right? So the things that you want, do you want 90K in your pipeline in the next 90 days, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the one thing that's going to get you there is what?
Time management and following the plan,
Right? And your plan includes doing what every day?
following the calendar.
Right? And on the calendar every day, you got a task on there that you got to do. What is that?
What are your tasks that you have time blocked for?
Ultimate Humans, lead follow-up, and open house setup for today. And then
Right.
show.
How many times a day do you do R&B?
I don't know where you.
That's lead generation.
Oh, lead generation.
Yeah.
R&B means relationship building, which is lead gen prospecting.
For today, 1 hour.
How many hours, what's your commitment on your 90K sheet? Everyone look at your commitment because it's gonna come up. I need you to know your commitment shortly.
Are you waiting on me to say something?
Yes, how many
Yep.
hours do you have committed in your calendar every single day and every week committed to?
Two
Relationship
hours,
building.
2 hours, by 5, 2
So
times.
10
5,
hours?
10 hours.
And how much of that are you following through actually doing those 1 hour chunks of? Relationship
Last
building.
week, I mean, like I said, it varies from week to week, depending on how crazy. Again, I know, getting on the calendar, I hear you.
That's the whole
Um,
point of the calendar, right? Is to
Right.
keep us accountable for this 1 hour. I'm in my bunker, my phone is turned off, or my
Yes.
distractions are turned off. Everything else that's bleeding in that we perceive as an emergency is not an emergency. For this 1 hour, I'm dedicated to calling these 10 people.
Yeah.
Yes.
I pre-planned
just
the
so-
night before on
Right.
who I'm gonna call so that I don't have to waste 10 minutes figuring out who I'm gonna call of that time.
Just so RJ doesn't feel alone, because I know the answer to my next question. RJ, you're not off the hook for that last question.
Okay.
Wave at RJ if you are also guilty of not following the plan and sticking to your daily R&B. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't see anyone not waving at me,
That's what I thought.
except for Kristen.
Just kidding.
Kristen and Jocelyn and did not wave at me. We're a work in progress, you guys.
Yeah.
Right? And the
So
only
by
reason
week
I
5,
want,
6, like we really need to be on it.
Yeah.
At minimum, week 5
and
or 6.
today we're going to talk about your R&B backup plan for when you mess up during the week. What's the consequence that you have to go through? And like Ryan before has said, you know what? I'm going to make it up on Saturday, and little Noah is going to suffer the consequences. And there's family accountability that we'll talk about today too. So back to that question. I want you all to answer this. Because if what you want is 90K in your pipeline every 90 days. Alexa, what's 90K times 4?
90,000 times 4 is 360.
Yeah, 360,000 minimum every year, every year, every year, every year. If that's truly what you want, the question is, and everyone pay attention to this because I need all of your answers in the chat. What causes you to choose to not do the things, which is your R&B, they're going to get you what you want? Answers in the chat, please. What causes you to choose? So every time you decide to go off of the calendar and meet somebody else's needs first and be a people pleaser and break your own boundaries, every time that happens, you're choosing to not do the things that are going to get you what you want. Answers in the chat. And I'm going to spin the wheel and I'm going to pick someone. Charles, what's your answer?
Short-term pleasure.
Oh, short-term pleasure. It's like a dopamine hit, right? Oh, Ryan can talk about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it is. You know, I do what I prefer to do now, and I sacrifice my long-term.
Yeah, 100%. And so the real question is, do you want to keep choosing that? And at the end of this challenge, I can guarantee you're going to make 90K minimum if you run your system. If we're not running our systems,
If I do nothing different, see, for me, if I do nothing different, I will approximately earn 90K every 90 days.
yes.
If I do nothing different, so I'm
Yeah.
coasting.
Yep.
But if I put effort into it, you know, my goal is to make
Yep.
gross $1 million, net $1 million, give $1 million. The old Kellerism, if you will.
I love that.
Gone above 500, haven't broke 3/4, but I haven't gone above 500 in a couple of years now. I'm
Yep.
not around as fire as I once was, but I'm working
Yeah.
on myself.
Changing it, right? So do you guys realize that, and this is something I was going to teach later, but who knows what this means? How you show up right here, right, in this program is how you show up everywhere. What does that mean? Ryan, go.
Like you're the same person no matter where you are, right? So if you show up here, you half-ass it, like you're probably showing up in your marriage and half-assing it. You're probably showing up in your relationships with your children and half-assing it. And I'm not saying that to anyone besides me. So
Right. Yeah. It's all about truth, right? And it's all about evolving to the best version of ourselves day after day. Every day is an opportunity. Don't be driving in the rear view mirror, right? Looking at this, going, well, I really messed that up, right? You drive looking in the rear view mirror, you're going to crash. Look at who you want to be tomorrow. Good job, you guys. Looking in the chat, I can see people pleaser, fear of rejection, fear. So Juliet, I need you to copy those and we're going to throw them into next week because we got to get back on track. And we're going to talk about those things that stop us. All right. So make sure you put that in for next week, Juliet. All right, you guys.
The good news is we get to redo this, right? Every single day, every single week, we get to relive these moments, and we get to say,
Yeah.
man, this sucked. Like RJ probably right now was not excited to be kind of called out like that. But he has a choice. 7 days from now, we're gonna have the exact same phone,
Yeah.
the exact same conversations, and instead he can show up and say, I kicked my calendar's butt. You know,
Yeah.
I did all of these things. I don't want to feel uncomfortable again.
Yeah.
I don't like that feeling of everybody looking at me, judging me, even though none of us are judging him because we're all guilty of doing the same exact thing.
100%.
But we put this pressure on ourselves that all these people think that like I'm, I don't know, wasting my time or not living up to my potential, right?
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
our own self-pressure.
That's the point of accountability. So
It is the point, right? And it's a little bit uncomfortable, but what did we say about judgment in this bubble on day one?
There
Is it
is
allowed?
none. There is
There's
none.
no room for it.
You know,
None.
if I may, I had a situation where I paid someone a lot of money to be my coach. And I am great at making excuses. I mean, I sell real estate so I can travel. That truly is my goal. And I spent a lot of money with them and I wasn't reaching my goals. And what I realized is they weren't really an accountability coach. They were more of a cheerleader coach. I have a lot of those in my life, which is great. But when somebody holds my feet to the fire, particularly in a group like this, where we are all working toward that same goal, which
Yeah.
is that minimum of 90K in 90 days, I think that I think that from my perspective, it's safe to be called out and it's safe to be held accountable in front of your colleagues who share the same drive and the same
Yes.
end goal. That's just my personal opinion for whatever that is worth.
And same roadblocks and same head trash, because I can tell you there's not many people that don't suffer from some amount of head trash, right? The IBSC. So, and Angela, is this a celebration? Your goal is did you meet your goal from last week?
My goal last week was to I have these cute little disco balls. It doesn't matter. I wrote a little cute poem that goes about it and I give the history of the disco ball. It's sort of funny. And I got some new pens. So I delivered them all to my clients. So I usually try to do 50 pop-bys a month. And I got a little bit derailed due to a funeral of a client of mine. And that doesn't matter. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I about a 6. I think I still have 35 to 38 disco balls to do, but I felt really good about what I did last week. So
Okay. In spite of the funeral, which was a big thing. Yep, 100%. Okay. We forgot to do our get to know Charles. Charles is in the hot seat. So Charles gave me, and this should have been the icebreaker at the beginning. So you guys got to guess. So 2 truths and 1 lie about Charles. He's finished a bicycle race named the Furnace Creek 508 multiple times. It is billed as the toughest 48 hours in the sport, 508 miles through Death Valley and Mojave Desert in under 48 hours. Number 2, he once found himself lost inside a shipwreck 120 feet below the surface of the water during a scuba dive trip over 30 minutes. And number 3, and you guys got to guess what one is the lie. Number 3 is that he was the class hero in middle school for shooting the obnoxious teacher in the back of the head with a spitball from the back of the class. Which one's the lie, you guys? Put it in the chat. 1, 2, or 3. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 is the lie. Jocelyn is the winner. Number 3 is the lie. He never shot his teacher in the back of the head with a spitball, but we need to hear that story one of these days. And just so you know, you guys, Jocelyn has got a sensitive eye issue today that she's let me know about, and it's ongoing, so she may have to wear sunglasses. She's not being silly. So, all right, you guys, let's move along.
Jocelyn, what gave it away?
Right, what gave it away? How would we have known? Okay, so we've done the accountability, and we're going to be looking at that as well. Let's do a celebration. Who met their commitment from last week? The thing that we put in the chat of what you said you were going to do. All right, Sue, good job. That's a celebration, and that was sticking to the calendar. Anyone else? Who forgot about their commitment? Anyone forget about it? Charles? Okay. And Key. So we're going to talk about the habit hack agreement today, so you won't forget about your commitment, because it does happen. We got 2 things to give you today that are going to help with that as well. And we'll go into those shortly. All right. So in the videos we sent for the homework, and we're going to get through this so I can get some new material in here. We talked about the Pomodoro method. So is anyone ever distracted? Does anyone get distracted? Yeah. And how can that create, if you've got an intention to do something, whether it's a 2-hour hour of power to get shiitake done, right? Or to do your R&B activities, how can creating the bunker help with that?
Well, it eliminates your distractions and therefore your excuses for not doing the lead generation, relationship building activities.
Exactly. And so how would that pour into your relationship, Charles? If you got a date night with Rita and you create a bunker, how will that impact your connection with your spouse?
Well, if I eliminated all distractions, such as turning off my phone or, turning off the ringer, and look at any apps or anything like that, I'd have nobody to focus on except Rita, my wife.
Yeah.
Which could only forge a stronger connection between us.
Amen. That's a fact, right? So we talked about earlier, it's not really possible to focus on 2 things at once. You can't watch a TV show and listen, hear what's going on in the show and listen to your spouse, right? You can't read a book and listen to your spouse or watch the TV show at the same time. Your conscious mind can focus on one task at a time. So multitasking, we always think that's a superpower. It's not. So the idea is to learn to focus on one thing at a time, right?
I think that's the biggest thing, right? Is we all individually know the things that keep us from achieving our stuff. So why do we not just remove those distractions?
Yeah.
And, it's about being real. And yes, it's uncomfortable. And sometimes you don't want to, but that's the point, right? Doing hard things means you got to do the stuff you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So if it's going to distract you, just remove it from your bunker completely.
I love that you said that, Chad, doing hard things. Ryan, what's your new motto? DHS,
do hard shit.
Yeah. Yep. And he's doing it and he's getting the results. And so Ryan, you did that last week for the first time in a long time.
Went to the office?
No, well, and stuck to your plan.
Yes.
And because before this, I'm going to throw you under the bus, Ryan. What was your plan? It was either do the 90K or go get a what?
Oh, a job.
And so
just over broke.
Yeah. Tell everybody, 2 weeks before this started, you had done what?
Put in some applications, sent out my resume.
Yeah. And then tell them about the text that you shared with me.
I got an email yesterday of like, oh yeah, we're excited for the interview. And 2 weeks ago, I would have been pumped about it, but I just listed and put one under contract this week. I have more stuff coming up this week. And it's like, damn, maybe it's not the market. Maybe it was me.
That stuff about the market, excuse my language, a bunch of bullshit, you guys. Do not listen to the noise. Do not listen to the noise because it's BS. People will get out because they're listening to it. Great. There's more for you. You remember the story of my client. in 2007 in the crash? How many agents jumped off the boat in 2007 when the market crashed? How many? Hundreds. My client was told she got her license that year. And I know you guys have heard this story, but I repeat myself to make sure it sinks in. She was told, go home and call everybody you know. She just got her license, and let them know you're in real estate. How many homes did she sell? Who remembers? In year one, during the recession, when people went and got JOBs, how many? Come on, somebody knows.
75.
How many?
75.
No, I love that though. 48.
48. Still not too shabby.
Yeah. So what does that mean? That means this year you guys can do 48.
If you want to.
If you want to, you gotta want it. And it goes
Monica,
back to what you focus on expands. Yes.
can I share a quick story from this weekend?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm in Connecticut Saturday, like complete downpour, washout all day. I walk my neighborhood with a rucksack on every day. And Saturday, it was like, I really didn't want to do it because it was too rainy. It was too cold. The weather was too nasty. Luckily, I have two great 4 and 5 year old accountability partners that for some reason wanted to go for a walk in the pouring freaking rain. So I was out there with my 2 kids walking in the rain. And then Sunday was gorgeous. It was 60 something degrees. The sun was shining. And my head told me it is too nice today to be out on a ruck. And my wife was out with the kids. And like, you know, I have some alone time at the house. I could just chill, relax, fire up a cigar on the patio. And yeah, so like excuses will, like you'll find a way to make an excuse if you want to make an excuse, you know. Either way, I got it done both days, and like those excuses were in my head both days. Too nice and then too nasty, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My head just wants to make excuses. So
I love that. Any feedback on that story?
I really believe that it's like TSW. This system works. If we're willing to get out there and do the system and do the things each day, it will work. But if we sit back and believe every belief out there by everybody else and get that in our heads, that will keep expanding. So if we focus on what our goals are, not everybody else's, and do the system, it works.
Yeah. Amen.
to that point, like intentionality, right? Like I have it here on my keyboard now, even though I fought it for as long as Monica would let me, of writing down what my intention for this program was, right? So like to start each day with intention, and like it doesn't matter what the weather is, it doesn't matter what's going on, you know, outside, inside my head, inside the office, like nothing matters because I'm starting that day with an intention and I'm going to follow through on that intention because I'm a man of integrity.
Oh, I love that. Love that. So
Saturday.
everyone show me your Post-it note with your intention on it, because it should be on your computer screen. Ryan, 1. Who else has got it?
Saturday
Angela,
night,
too.
I didn't sleep well and I needed to go to the
Great.
gym on Sunday. And I mean, I was exhausted, but I went, you know what? If I go to the gym and I only do at least 2 exercises, that's
Yeah.
more than ended up working out for an hour.
Right on. See? Absolutely. You just got to go show up.
You got to push yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just saw Bree's got her Post-it. Joanna's got her Post-it. RJ, do you have a Post-it on your laptop at home? Sue? You're muted.
Yeah, I have several actually.
But what's the one about the intention?
Yes, I have one.
Okay,
What-
right on.
what does it
Good
say?
job, you guys. So make sure that you're keeping up with the action items.
Yeah.
Right?
So if
Because that
we don't,
intention-
if we don't have it memorized, then even if we have it, like you're not reading it. So
Yeah, no.
it should be
So-
committed to memory after a week, certainly.
Yep. And add it into your affirmations in your morning program, guys and girls. Right? Reprogram your RAS. Tell it what you want it to know, what the truth is, not the BS from the outside.
Monica, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, hun.
I haven't done my intention yet, and I think I know why.
No.
These are weekly intentions, because I've been trying to think of what can I commit to for this whole coaching seminar.
Right.
Is it just small, like just 1 week, or what's the
No,
parameter?
it's overall for the whole program. Who do you
Alright.
have to be? How do you have to show up? It would be things like, I'm going to show up every day like the badass CEO that I was created to be, right? On purpose, with intention, following a schedule and doing my R&B every single day,
Okay, got it.
right? So it's how you're going to show up, because it really is about intention. What I see agents and lenders and other business owners across the United States, across the nation, across the world actually, is playing badminton all day. They show up at work not consistently at the same time. They jump into their emails because they like to be busy and feel important. Then they respond to text and they go, oh yeah, I got to do this. And oh yeah, I got to do that. But there's no intention. They're just playing badminton or whack-a-mole all day and never doing the one thing that will guarantee you that $360,000 in your bank account year after year after year. The one thing. And that is, what's the one thing?
R&D.
R&B, relationship building. Everyone knows what R&B is. R&D is rip off and duplicate.
Which there's nothing wrong with.
No, I do that daily. Yep. If you don't know what R&B is, you may have missed a class. Do you not know what R&B is? Anybody? Wave at me. All right, good job, everyone. All right, so we're talking about being on purpose, focusing, and what that does for us. And so the Pomodoro method was a video. Does anybody have a problem with staying focused for their 1 hour or 2 hours of lead gen? Sorry, R&B, Bree does. Okay, so when you create the bunker. So the recommendation is the Pomodoro method. All right, so who watched the video and can tell me what the Pomodoro method is? Sue watched it, Key watched it. Casey, did you watch it? Okay. Minto, did you watch it?
I did not watch it,
Okay,
but I
Chad?
do know what it is.
Okay, that's all right. Chad, did you watch it?
I did not. I apologize.
All right. Get your shit together, brother. RJ. Didn't want, okay. All right, Charles. Tell him what the Pomodoro method is.
It's blocks of time, usually about 25-minute blocks of time, where you do focused, concentrated work, then you take a break, and then you do another 25-minute block of time. Gentleman by the name of Pomodoro, through his trial and research, found that the human brain, it works in short spurts. Take a break, and then you can get back to your short spurt again. And
yep.
So
there's several studies out there, gang, that says how long the brain can focus without getting distracted. And the Pomodoro method says it's 25 minutes. But watch, you don't even have to have the app. I gave you the app in the video, but watch this. Alexa, set me a timer for 25 minutes.
25 minutes, starting now.
Done. Right? And then you get focused. You're in your bunker and you work for 25 minutes. You take a 5-minute break. The apps is 5 or 15. It's up to you. I recommend 5. Go walk, go to the bathroom, go to drink of water, get back at it. And so guys, I want to make sure that you know 100% that I'm skimming the surface on here. You're missing a boatload if you're falling behind on the video. So I recommend you spend an hour or 2 catching up on those. Watch them together. Watch them as a group. Talk about them, but just don't forget about them, because the main teaching, which I said in the beginning, is done in the videos and we're going to review it, right? So who learns by repetition?
Most of us.
Everybody here, most of us.
May I ask a question? Only
Yes,
because
please, go ahead.
I've been trying to get into Facebook all day or all morning. Is anyone
It's a
else?
Facebook problem. Yeah.
That's all I needed
It's
to
back
know.
up and running. It's back up and running. I think it right before we got on the call.
So that leads us into the next thing. Say you're using the Pomodoro method. You're in a 25-minute bunker shut, and suddenly you go, oh my God, I forgot to call my hairdresser, or drop off the dry cleaning, or feed the dog, or call my mom, or return the email. Yeah, exactly. So everybody is supposed to have a journal with them. Can you show me your journals? Your little notebook. Wave it at me. Right on. Good job, you guys. Right on. And it's one that's just for this. So if you're trying to fake me out and you got a notebook that you're not using just for this, I need you to get one. right? One of the videos last week said to divide it, right on, Ryan, said to divide it into 4 sections. What are some of the 4 sections? Go, Ryan.
Itty bitty shitty committee. I just wanted
Yep.
to say that in front of the group.
Yep, the IBSC. So we're going to start tracking the head trash, like what you guys put in there earlier. I'm afraid of rejection. I have fear, right? I'm going to sound silly. Whenever you hear something that is, and it's never coming from good, right? Whether your higher power is called Jesus or God or source or universe, goodness comes from that space. The itty bitty shitty committee is not from that space. That's not what your creator says about you, friends. So if it's the itty bitty shitty committee, anything other than good stuff, good shiitake, write it down. And then I want you to cross it out, just one cross, because I need to know what those are. There's going to be a point in this class where you guys are going to share those things with me, because we can try to do a group thing to release them. If not, we'll figure out how to do it individually. Okay, so IBSC is one section, writing down whatever it says. What's another section?
The squirrel section.
Yep. Who said that? Heath, right on. So that's the squirrel chasing method. So if you're in a bunker and you're doing your lead gen, and suddenly it dawns on you that you forgot to feed the dog or drop off the dry cleaning or text somebody back, call somebody back, make a dentist appointment, you write it down in the squirrel chasing section of the book. Next week, we're going to teach you about the brain dump and what you'll do with anything that's in the squirrel list, because you will address it, just not now. Okay. Yes, Sue.
Isn't there also an archive section where I know you do that for your email, but and maybe I misunderstood that, but I thought there was a section that you had, these are the things that I need to do later, not right now.
Yeah, that was for the zero-based email.
Okay.
By the way, has anyone got through their zero-based email? Ryan?
I have, it's like a day-to-day thing, week to week
Yeah.
thing. Like I got there and then it got away from me. I've got there again. And like
Yeah.
right now there's 108 in there, but that's 2 days.
Yeah. So by the way, I wanted to mention this before, and I mentioned it once before. There's been a boatload of action items. And the foundational piece, because it's getting your system together, and the action items will slow down, right? In a big, big way. But if we fall behind now, and we're not doing the action items, then we've wasted a lot of money and time. All right, so do what you need to do to catch up on those action items. Does everybody here know where to find the action items, the replays, and all the resources? Yep. Okay. It's all at the top of the Facebook group, friends. All right, so the squirrel chasing method, everyone get what that is? Yep. Squirrel chasing method, the IBSC, you also have another section for writing down your action items as you hear them in the journal, right? So go to that section now and write down, catch up with all the videos and action items. And like I said, again, this first portion, we're almost through the foundation of the program. If we build a house on a sandy foundation, what's the point? We're not going to change anything, right? It's all going to fall apart as soon as you're done, and you're not going to get to where you want to go. We need a firm foundation. That's why we do that. And the last part, the 4th section, was to write down any big ahas that you're getting, because after each class, you'll go into the Facebook group and post your big takeaway, something that struck you, whether it was a saying. Yes, Bree.
I was just going to say, I have a lender friend who's not with us, is very high ADHD. And what she has found for her is the Remarkable. And I don't know if anybody has
Yes.
it, but there's no internet link to it. So for her, that is her to-do list because it cannot distract her. So all day long that sits next to her and she writes things on it and crosses it off.
Yeah. My client, Alex, and his wife, they're a heavy hitting team and they use that. So I may buy one myself and let you guys know what I think, but write that down. Remarkable. The good thing, like Bree said, is there's no internet on it. So you can't get distracted, right? And they go through that every day to make their daily plan and to hold themselves accountable. So I do want to hear, we're going to put another action item in, and Juliet, please mark this down. I want everyone to give me their ideas on how to keep you accountable at a high level. Does that mean we have a spreadsheet with all the action items and we add to that every week? And then you guys have to check it off? What is going to let me know? Because I feel like some of us are skating by because we haven't made the decision yet. And if
A
we're
list
skating,
is not a bad idea.
so we got the list in the Facebook group, but it's not check marks. And we had done that last time. And I'm wondering if we should put it back in. So think about it. What's going to hold you to a high level of accountability? Last time we also had teams and accountability partners. All right. I can't ask everybody, what was your commitment? We can see it in there and we can do some celebrations.
Monica, for me, I absolutely love on the new dashboard, like the what's the, like the percentages that are on there.
Yeah.
That like for me, like, I don't know, every day with like yesterday, I'm at 60%, which like, I don't think I haven't hit 100% yet. And like already 2 weeks in,
Yeah.
I'm seeing the results of
Here's
doing
an
these activities.
idea. Ooh, thank you for planting the seed, Ryan.
No problem. That was an
I
evil laugh there,
wonder-
Monica.
I know. So there's two ways to run your dashboard, right? Where our hope is by the end of the week, you know, by Sunday, you're erasing it and not replacing it. But I wonder if we don't erase it until this meeting. We don't clear the check boxes till this meeting, and you guys all send me a screenshot, and I can have Ella put those in a document, and I can see what's really going on.
Just to call us all out, myself included, like one of the daily tasks on there is to put that up on the Facebook group.
Oh, that's right. That is a daily task. And I haven't seen it. Thank you, Ryan.
Ryan's posted, I saw it there.
Yeah. So why hasn't anyone else done it?
I've only done it once too, by the way, so.
All right. Kristen, have you done it yet?
No, because I missed last week and I wasn't sure what.
Okay.
I'm still trying to play catch up, so.
Okay. So you'll see in your dashboard, if you're checking them all off, you got to check off the box that says I took a screenshot of this and posted on Facebook. And it's every day, isn't it? Yeah.
Where is that located on the
Can somebody
bulletproof
share that
thing?
screen and just share that
Ryan,
screen?
you got it up?
Yeah, give me just 1 second. Screen share.
I've been having trouble being able to transfer things into Facebook. That's why I haven't been posting.
Transfer things. We'll have to talk about that. I'm not sure what you mean, but we'll talk about it, Sue.
Okay, well, like if I take a screenshot of something.
Yep.
And then I try to download it, because for whatever reason, I can't load it from Facebook, from my cell phone into Facebook.
I'll have Juliet get on a Zoom with you.
Okay, thank you.
You see it right there? It's line 37, post screenshot of thermostat for end of day activities, which we're going to be talking about next week.
And it's both of these thermostats, right? Or is it just this one?
I would like, you know what? I would like both of them. I would like that whole top, right? From column A all the way across to the right, and from line 1 to 7. That whole thing. Way to go on Monday. 60%, Ryan.
Today's my day off, so.
Okay. Yep. All right. So I feel that we should not, what do you guys think about that? Do you want to not clear the check boxes each week until Tuesday hits and then clear them right after this class? Ryan?
So my little like OCD is gonna bother me that the thing is Monday through Friday and not like
Yeah.
Wednesday through Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah, I
agree.
meant to too. Okay. All right, so that's the requirement then. So maybe save your screenshot And get it on Facebook. And if you can't manage to do that, we're gonna put in one more step of accountability and have you email it to us. And not to me, probably to Ella or someone. So that they can put them together, because I need to see them. And then the action item is also so 2 action items. What's gonna hold you more accountable? And make sure you're getting your screenshots in for your end of day. Good job. All right, we got about 10 minutes.
Us as a team, we're gonna share them in a group text daily.
Okay,
So maybe if you guys, the rest of you guys, you can either join our group, or if you want to form some groups within the group, just like can be a daily text thing where you screenshot the graph and post it to your group. And then,
oh, that could be, and then maybe the group leader can put it on Facebook,
yeah,
because I need to see access to it.
designate one person in each group to be the jerk that calls everybody else out.
I love it. All right, so put yes or no in the chat if you're going to agree to that.
Is it supposed to be daily or weekly that we're doing the screenshots, or is it?
It's daily.
Okay.
It's in your end of day wrap up that we're talking about. Heath, are you really mean no? You're full of it. He's okay. Yes. All right. Speak your piece, or
So I love that idea, Monica, that they have, but we're already, I mean, our group is our Facebook group that we are holding as each
it
other
is. It
accountable.
is
Yeah.
right, and then everyone else can see it as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it's
when we're trying to stay off of Facebook, and I guess from
Yeah.
like a text is such an easier thing than, and maybe I'm just overthinking it, but then getting into the group and then posting it on there. If you
Right.
guys as a collective are saying we would really appreciate it if you guys would like not exclude us, then okay, we can do that.
so within your group, Chad, do you want everyone on one chat? Why don't we, Chad? Can I give you that assignment? Just add everybody.
Add everybody as on here. Okay, yeah. If you guys want to text me your cell phone numbers.
What's your number, Chad?
817-642-7567.
All right, and then who's going to be the daily person to put it on Facebook?
We're doing it in lieu of.
Are we doing this in lieu of Facebook, or we want to do it
No,
in
it still
addition?
needs to go on there to be called out in public.
Okay.
There's no need for the text.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we might as well just post it on the Facebook and not do the group text.
If everyone's doing it, is it in public? Isn't it public?
No, because we've got other people we're inspiring that are in the group that have done the 90K before.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. So it's a community, right?
Yeah. And I don't want to volunteer to post it, because I mean I can tell you that getting on the Facebook, I'll probably Facebook, I don't know. I know I'm the dad here, but
Oh, you know what? Megan just said, Megan, tell them what you're thinking. A screen recording of the chat.
It was actually Kate.
Yeah. I was typing. No, it's just so it's easier. So you're not like on Facebook, like putting all these photos up or screenshots of the text. You could just do a screen recording and roll slowly and then just post that one video so she can see it. Do you know how to do that though?
no, but sounds like you just volunteered to do that. So add yourself to the group text, and
Oh,
we will nominate you to do that.
fabulous.
Well, you know, we can change it up each week or once a month or what have you. You
Pretty
can take
easy
care of
to
that,
do,
Casey. So Juliet, make sure that's documented. So that'll be great, right? So by the end of the day, just keep it on that thread.
And if,
then
yeah, if
Casey-
you have a day off, like Ryan, I think you said Tuesdays are your day off. You know,
Just
I
put
guess
in day off.
just put in day off,
Don't
or
reply for accountability, right? So no cheating. And so Bree had a good point, just so you do know, is it a private group? So you either have to be in the 90K or you've already done it at least one round to be in the group, right? So it's a community of people who've been through the system. All right. We got a few more minutes. We got to get back on track, gang. Any more questions on that? All right, so we got the Pomodoro method. Put in the chat if you think you need to use the Pomodoro method and if that's your commitment. Put yes or no in the chat, everybody, if you're going to use, if you need to use the Pomodoro method to focus at 25 minutes at a time for at minimum your R&B, yes or no. That's an action item for accountability, yes or no. Get it in the chat, everybody. All right, we talked about the squirrel chasing method. We know where to locate the resources. And then the other video was optimizing your database. Has anyone here, so I will need you to put another yes or no. Juliet, put in the chat, is your database at 150, 200 with email address, date of birth, and physical address? Meaning, have you scrubbed it? And if it's not scrubbed and you don't have 150 to 200, put in the chat, are you committing to doing an hour a day of the scrubbing? You've got to have a clean database. You got to get it there, friends. It's one of the foundations. I would hate to see you guys end this and still have a dirty database that you don't know who to call or what to do. Right? Our goal is to get 150 to 200. So put your commitment in there. All right. Let me share this. So the next thing Juliet's going to put in the chat is the digital detox worksheet. And I'm going to ask for answers since we got some people behind. But I do want to see, put yes or no in the chat if you have done the digital detox. So before you do that, hold on. Juliet, I need you to put digital detox so we know what the So RJ, your database is clean. So Juliet, it started with Sue on the digital detox at 12:58. So let me share the screen. Okay, so some of us have not gotten to it. Let's go through it, guys. So share. So as a recap, we talked about how many bits of information come to us at any given point in time. Yes, you got it, Heath. I don't know how you remember that, dude. 40 billion. Is that what you just said? You get to choose the 40 bits that you're going to focus on. With 40 billion bits of information coming in through emails and phone calls and TV and radio and people around us, every day we got to choose how to rule those things out and focus on your 40 bits, right? So popcorn style and in the chat. Name one thing that you can address that's energy draining, toxic, or a negative person. Just give a first name unless they're in the room. Kidding. Put it in the chat. And I'm going to call out popcorn style. Kristen, what's one energy draining or toxic negative person or energy draining person, whether it's a client, a friend, someone who calls all day long that you got to set boundaries with, someone that steals, that's a people one, stealing your energy. Do you have a first name of anyone, Kristen? You're muted. You're muted, honey. Kristen, you're muted.
Sometimes my mom can be.
Yeah. So we can set a boundary, right? And a healthy boundary with the hamburger method. Hamburger method is, Mom, I love you. I love you so much. And I really want to focus on solutions because when we're looking at it really affects my heart, right? I can hold space for you, but it really affects my heart. And if we could talk about solutions rather than problems, I would love that. It would be a huge gift to me. And I love you. Thank you. Casey, energy draining, toxic, negative people in your life. Unmute.
No, I have that one.
Yeah.
I adore her. She calls me daily and just
Yeah.
complains and complains. Now she's starting to pretend to care about my work day a little bit, but
Yeah,
it's rough. So yeah, I've been trying, but I need to just I think I need like a call schedule with her. Like you can't call me during the day and bring down my day, you
Yeah.
know?
So Casey, are you willing to commit to having that conversation this week?
I'm still trying to figure out how to tell her gently that she
Okay.
can't call me during my work hours.
Okay, right. Just say, blame it on your coach. It'd be, girlfriend, I really do love you. And my coach has instructed me that I can't do personal business during the workday, and I'm trying to honor my commitment.
I need to do that because I did try and say, let's talk solutions and try and be positive. I try and send videos, like positive videos to her too. I'm just getting,
Yeah.
she doesn't
And
put in the work.
sometimes we got to speak more truth into people, right? And just let them know, I can't do it. It's affecting me, right? Because it does affect us. That's your energy field. All right. So if you're going to commit this week to having a talk with an energy draining, toxic, negative person in your life, to set a boundary, put it in the chat and we'll hold you accountable to it. All right. What about things that are draining your energy? Electronics, TV, social media, gaming. What else? Put one thing in the chat that is draining your energy.
Racism. I'm not letting go of my movies though.
Hopefully if they're after 10 p.m. you are, because we shouldn't be watching TV after 10, right? All right, put one thing in the chat, everybody. That's an energy drainer in the realm of electronics, TV, social media. Yep. Bree already has cut that down. So, and I can get lost in the social media scroll too, right? I fall off the train every now and then. And I'm like, I've got to stop. I can't do it. All right. So I'm assuming what you're putting in here, you're committing to reducing. All right. So Juliet, can you share again? My views changed for a second. Or I'll
I am
share.
sharing the screen.
Okay. I just kicked you out. Sorry. All right. What can you start saying no to? So go ahead and share again, Juliet. I was in a personal growth and development class, and I'm keeping an eye on the time. We should be at Q&A. We're not quite there yet. And they said, if you're a man or woman of integrity, stand up. And you saw the crowd, you guys, it was like, whew, up it went. Everybody stood up. Then they said, if you have ever said yes, when every fiber of your being meant no, sit down. The whole room. Like a group. So have you ever said, you're thinking, I got so much to do, and someone says, hey, can you watch my kids? Or can you come to this event when your plate's already full? Can you help me with this when your plate's already full? Can you go have a beer when you know you should be working your business? Can you take my phone call during work time? There's the 25-minute timer. It's off. Alexa off. So that's how I use Pomodoro. It works. All right. So the question is, think about that. Are you willing this week to be held accountable to saying no more often? And the script for that, does anyone remember it? Right.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Boom. Lower the hammer. And if you don't want to be so abrupt, it would be, Sue, with every fiber of my being, I want to come help you and take care of your pets while you're gone. And I'm looking at my calendar and my former commitments, and there's no way I can do it. I wish I could. I'm really sorry. I can't. Everything in the hamburger method, right? And if someone says, well, I don't care that you don't have time, I need this and you owe it to me, they go back into category 1, negative, toxic, energy draining people that need to go, or set a boundary with them. We've got to protect that bubble, right? And this exercise is all about that bubble.
Funny IBSC thing there is like
Yeah.
that script that you just said is like, I would never use that because I don't want to lie to people. Yet like, I'm okay lying to people with saying like, yes, I'd be happy to do it when I wouldn't be happy to do it. Interesting.
Right. So you're pretty much telling me you're willing to be a man who's not of integrity. Because that's what they said. They said, if you say yes, when you mean no, you are not a man or woman of integrity, sit your butt down.
I just
Think
like the
about
no script better, I think.
That's fine. No, I
Hmm.
can't. Use whatever script you're comfortable with, but use it.
Use it. There you go. That's the
You
best part,
use
right?
it. I don't care how you say it, just use it. All right. So we're going to be asking next week, and you can put it in the Facebook group. Well, maybe we'll put a post, Juliet. What's one thing you said no to this week? Look for opportunities to say no, because saying no to things that are going to distract you or get in your way are going to give you more of the yeses that you really want in your life. All right.
There's a really good book by Henry Cloud called
Okay.
Boundaries.
I love Henry Cloud.
So if you do struggle with this, and you are an avid reader or always looking for new books or, whatever, pick up Boundaries by Henry Cloud.
Juliet, put that on our list because I've not read that one either, but I love Henry. And by the way, I want to share with you a story. Henry taught a class I was in, and he wrote his first book. He took it to his editor, and the editor said, "This is garbage. You can't leave it written like this. Let me put it in my own words." And I can't remember the full story. Either he said yes or no. He said, okay. And he read it and he's like, that's garbage. And he did it his own way, or he just told him no and he did it his own way. Right. Because that's what his creator put in him. Right. And it was a bestseller. He stuck to his guns, what was true to him, not what the other naysayers were saying. All right. So I'm going to let you guys share the screen again, Julia. I'll share it. What are you willing to give up to get what you really want? What are you willing to give up to get what you really want? Right. I had one person say bodybuilding competitions. They could still stay healthy and still work out every day, but not 2 to 4 hours a day. All right. What are you willing to give up to get what you want? Is it the BS of the scrolling? Is it the negative people? Put it in the chat. It's accountability, friends. What's one thing that you're willing to give up to get what you really want? Maybe it's apps on your phone. I've seen people that play video games when they're next to their spouse. They're not connecting. They're just checking out, playing video games. If you want to relax for 30 minutes and play a video game or a game with your kids, great. Right? Or if it's game day, but to be stuck in that kind of thing and staying up late and getting distracted. All right. Put what your idea is on this last question. What is the one thing that you need to focus on and get really good at in your business? What's the one thing that you really need to focus on and get really good at in your business that'll make everything else, all the other BS, not even matter? It's the one thing. And there's only one true answer, I believe. I could be wrong, but I want to see what you have in the chat. I love that. No is a complete sentence without an explanation. Saying no. It is. You don't even have to explain yourself. RMB. Yep. Oh, you got to get rid of the excuses, right? Talk to brokers daily for Jocelyn's goal. Her goal is different, right? So it really is. The RMB, friends, that is where the magic is. Oh, I love that, Angela. Showing up as a millionaire business owner and building the $1 million relationships. Show up happy and focused, right? While you're doing your RMB. Because the one thing, you'll never get to where you're going in this business if you just overlook that time block and let all the excuses come in of why you can't do it. And if 2 hours seems overwhelming, start at 1 minimum. I love that, Angie. Love that. All right, let's open it up. Let me double check. Yeah, we're not going to be able to go into the new teachings, but I'll get them out in the videos. Let me do one new teaching because this is your habit hack agreement. So let me share this. And Juliet's going to put the verbiage in the chat, and I want you guys to copy it. So the habit hack agreement goes back to what you focus on, it expands. It goes back to reprogramming your reticular activating system. And here's what it looks like. You get out a piece of paper and you write this down. I want you guys to fill in the blanks. This is going to be your action item. You're going to keep this piece of paper in 2 places, one in your office desk and one on your nightstand. And you read it before you go to bed, just like your intention. I would do the same thing to reprogram your RAS, right? So my daily R&B commitment is to do what? It may be to do 2 calls, 3 texts, and 5 note cards, whatever it is, what your R&B commitment is. And that's in your habits, in your roadmap that you've chosen, the 3 lead gen habits, R&B habits, right? X days per week, how many days you're willing to do it. Right after I do X, right after I shower, right after I sit at my desk, whatever it is, at 9 o'clock for X amount of time, whatever you've committed to, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I commit to replacing R&B time if absolutely needed. That's really an emergency, right? If someone says, I am here for 24 hours, I have a plane to catch at noon, I need to see the houses in the morning. Unless you've decided to have 2 days where you do your R&B in the afternoon. And if you can stick to that, that's fine. And if I've not met my daily R&B commitment by Friday, I will do, so this is your second new teaching, and I'll teach more about in the video, my lead gen backup plan. I'm going to tell you what that is, your R&B backup plan at X time and day until my commitment is complete. So Juliet's put the verbiage in the chat for you. She's also shared it with each of you. So you have to make a copy of this file, follow these instructions, or just print it out and fill it out. I prefer you make a copy, type it out, get rid of the XYZ and the blanks, and print it and put it in 2 places. That's an action item. So R&B backup plan. Who knows what that is? If you've worked with me before. Don't remember? Okay. So say you get to Friday. If you've committed to 10 hours of R&B each week and it's Friday and you count your calendar and you got 5 hours, you've only met your goal halfway. What's your backup plan before Monday to hit your target? For Ryan, it meant little Noah was going to have to suffer for 5 hours on Saturday morning while Daddy worked. So what is your lead gen backup plan? That needs to go in that document. RJ, you're fretting. All right, so what is it? Who wants to share their lead gen backup plan with me? Create it now really quick.
I lead gen Monday through Friday. And if I don't hit my 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday, I'm sorry, Monday through Thursday, my apologies, those 4 days, then I make it up on my Friday. And usually I try to work after noon on Friday, just to lay out showings or whatever I have going on. So I do my lead gen starting at 10 in the morning on Friday if I don't hit it during the week.
There you go. So you schedule a time before Monday to do it. You could also, so let's say, for example, your goal was to talk to 50 people throughout the week, have 50 conversations, or say it was 50 dials and you didn't get it. Say you only got 10, you got 40 to go. Could a good lead gen backup plan to be pick up your phone and turn on the video and say, hey, you, it's Chad. I've been meaning to reach out and say hi, wanted to catch up with you, give me a call when you get a chance, and hit send 40 times. That can be done in 15 minutes. That'll catch you up real quick, and you're still on target. So think creatively of what your backup plan is going to look like. Is it a text and mass texting? Is it a video? Is it a voicemail drop? What is it for you? All right, so that's another action item. So how many people opened up their journal and wrote down all their action items? Renta, Sue, right on. Kristen, Key, Bree. Right on. For those that didn't, they will be listed in there. Right on, Heath. And we got 10 to 13 minutes left of Q&A. What kind of questions do we have so far? Let's open it up. I'll teach the rest of what I was going to do new today in the videos. Not a question. Does that mean we're all nailing it and crushing it?
I'm ready to start to do some R&B.
Yeah. I can do a little bit more teaching. When I say teaching, I mean troubleshooting. How do you all feel? As I know a problem is that has anyone here shown up to this class even once, and the day before or the hour before you go, oh shoot, I didn't even watch the videos. What were my action items?
No, but there's a door on my conference room in my office that clearly says, stay out, I'm working. I've had 3 people walk in here. I'm just venting right now. People don't read signs. They don't, I'm telling you.
I think it needs to be bigger. I had a client that got a refrigerator cardboard box and it said girls got goals, and she put it in front of the don't talk to me, put it in front of the cubicle. Sometimes you got to be bold, right?
And I propose that it's not people don't see signs. It's you're not being firm enough. Once they interrupt you once or twice and you tell them get the heck out, they're going to learn not to bother you unless it's a real emergency.
Right.
In my office, we have a rule. If you have a private office and your office door is closed, you do not interrupt.
I am sitting in their conference room, so there is that. Our offices are very different. We don't have offices here. We have a huge, it's like really truly like working in a coffee shop all the time.
I wonder if you put in on your sign, Angela, does it have the times that you're in the meeting?
Mine says, don't bother me between 11 and 12:30. That's what it says.
So then I want you to put in red letters, if this is an emergency, call 911. If not, put your name here and do a sign up sheet and you'll call you afterwards. So here's another thought that could solve that problem. If 30 minutes after this class ends, you have a time block on your calendar that says put time block, time for action items and videos, and you're actually scheduling it out in advance, and you go by the replace, do not erase, what would that do for you, RJ?
It would help a lot. It would help a lot. It would change.
Okay.
Like I said, my biggest thing is saying no or being distracted.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Focus would game changer.
Yep. So you're going to use the Pomodoro method, buddy?
Yes.
Yeah, right on. I love that. So I'm going to make that an action item. Unless you got a different method. If this is not a problem for you, you don't need it as an action item. If it's a problem, it needs to be an action item to get to what you want. And that includes you, Chad. Right?
Oh, I already got some notes. Early on, I said, I was taking this more of I don't know. I had a different mindset originally for what this was for me. But I realized as I sit here, if I'm not leading by example, then the rest of these individuals here aren't going to do it. So,
amen, brother. Right on. Way to be a leader.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question.
Yes,
so Are we texting Chad a copy of as a screenshot of our dashboard?
Yep.
Daily? Okay. I just wanted to be sure because I know there was
In
just,
that group text, and then
Yeah.
Casey will put a daily screen recording on. Heath, why the pause at individuals? What did that mean? Oh, that was for Chad. Okay. All right.
Oh, because I
So-
called them individuals instead of using the word that I probably wanted to use. I was trying to.
All right, you guys. So is every wave at me? Are you in agreement for the action item for a 30-minute time block after this class?
I am, and I'm gonna have to move because the reason they need this conference room is they have closing.
All right, you go ahead, sweetheart. All right. So let's roll into, what else could I share with you? Oh, this is a good piece. That habit hack agreement that I told you about that you're going to print, fill out, print, make a copy, fill it out, print it 2, 1 by your bed, 1 at your desk. You read it morning and night. You have to read it. You can't just say, oh, that's there. You got to read it, right? The time it takes to form a habit varies on several factors go into it, including the complexity of the habit and individual differences among people. Research shows that habit formation can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days, depending on the complexity and individual differences. But the average is about 66 days, right? Simple habits are going to form more quickly, while complex ones may take longer, but consistency and repetition are the key factors in habit formation, along with environmental cues and motivation. So this is your cue to get it together, right? This is your cue to get it together. We got 7 minutes. Should we talk a little bit about fear of rejection?
yes,
Okay. It's a real thing. So Sue, can I work with you?
yes.
Yeah. So fill in the blank. Or first tell me, what don't you do because of fear of rejection?
I don't call as often as I should. I might text or email because of the fear of rejection.
Right. And what might that look like if you call somebody?
Well, either, and I know we've talked about this, which resonated with me, either they don't answer or they answer and they sound really frustrated. That's what would get me the worst, is if they answer like, oh, it's you.
Yeah.
I'm
So
busy.
do we have an agreement, everybody here, right? Before I ask further questions, is this a safe place where there will be no judgment and no sharing of anyone else's experience? Wave at me. Do you agree? This is a safe place. Sue, you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Safe place, no judgment. So looking back at your childhood and your experience in relationships, have you ever felt rejected?
Yeah, my mother hated me with a passion.
Yeah. So here's why I asked this question, you guys. So, and I know I've said it before, and thank you for sharing that, Sue. When we're born, we're unapologetically us, right? We have a clean slate. No one has written a damn label on our chalkboard. Do you agree?
Mhm.
Right? We are demanding. We want our way. we don't care if someone's judging the cry face, right? Or how loud it is, how stinky the diaper is, how messy it is, or who's going to clean it up. We do not care. And then we allow people to write shit, literal shit, on our chalkboards. And I call those mental and emotional bricks in the backpack, right? I'm not enough. I'm not lovable. I've got to be perfect to be loved. I got to perform to be loved. I got to do this to be loved. People don't like me. People don't want to work with me. I'm not special. I'm not worthy. I don't deserve it. I could go on and on and on. On and on. And I've done private work with a lot of different people here. There's no one that's ever exempt for that shit. There's a lot of us that will bust through. Like when I first opened up and shared my shit with someone, they were like, there's no way. That's not how you show up. And I'm like, no, but that's the shit show behind the curtain, honey. Right? Because I will bust through them and keep going. Yes, Charles. Oh, you got to go. All right. Thanks, Charles. All right. But the truth is, and this is an exercise for you, so, and everybody else, actually, when you write down what the IBSC is saying, I want you to, as you put one line through it, because there's deeper work we can do in individual sessions. I'm going to try to do it in group for the first time later on towards the end, but I don't know how that's going to go because I've never done it before, but we're going to give it a whirl. But in the meantime, I want you to start reprogramming your RAS, because that's what your program, whatever your mama said to you, honey, is what your program learned to believe, right? And it became your truth, right? And I can tell you who God created you to be and who I know you to be is a lovable, incredible go-giver who is smart, beautiful, brilliant, and amazing with a huge heart. That's what I see. I'd be dying to be in your bubble, Sue.
Well, thank you.
We're going to get you to the point to where you look in the mirror, that's what you see. So your assignments, everybody, is when the IBSC shows up, you write it down in the journal, you put one cross through it, and then you write down what your creator or what your best friend would say about you. Right? What's the goodness that comes from your creator that is going to say about you? Because that's the truth. The rest is BS. The rest is BS. So Juliet, please make sure that you put in either next week or the week after. I need to do the group thing because I think a lot of people are going to benefit from it. Yeah. All right, we got a lot of action items, and those do, trust me, they will start slowing down. We got one more week of the foundational stuff. All right. And then the action items really start to slow down. So stay on top of it, friends. Instead of having you put a new thing you want to be committed to, we're going to use everything we put in the chat as your commitments. And we're going to post it in the Facebook group. If you noticed last week, we put everyone's individual commitments in there. If you haven't responded to that, please go do that now. All right. I love that, Angela. Read the children's book and you are special, Max Lucado. Love you guys. Make it a great day. Go out there, be awesome, kick some major butt. Be who you were created to be. Right? Stand in your power. Love you guys.